Hey y'all, and welcome back. I am on the floor today with a big stack of books back behind me because I have made some space on our bookshelves to put in some new books that we just got in from ThriftBooks. Y'all, this is going to be quite the haul, so I'm just going to get straight into it. If you guys are looking for a little inspiration for a lot of different things, then stick around. Okay, first things first, let's just start with this pile. Okay, like I said, all of this came from ThriftBooks. ThriftBooks is one of my favorite places. So I just grabbed this Nancy Drew, The Secret of the Old Clock. Now, if you grew up around the same time I did, Nancy Drew, the binding was yellow. Do you remember that? So this is like a whole brand new cover that I didn't even knew existed. And Nancy Drew was my girl back in the day. I loved Nancy Drew. And one of my daughter's friends, she just started getting into the series. And so I thought maybe that would be a fun little encouragement for her to pick up maybe a new series. So I just went ahead and grabbed book one. We'll see how she feels about it. And then if she likes it, then I may go ahead and continue grabbing the series for ourselves, or maybe we could just borrow them from the friend. I don't know. Moving on, Critter Club. This one is Ellie and the Good Luck Pig. Looks like this one is book number 10. I just grabbed these when I can find them because my daughter really loves these. The pictures make it really fun and engaging for her, and she can read through these pretty quickly. Then I have this fun one, A Day in the Life of a Veterinarian. So this will just be a good one for when we do the Trades and Careers unit from Gather Round. This would be perfect for that. But also, my daughter wants to be a vet, so she could read this anytime, and this would be a fun one for her. Okay, and these next two, I have just seen these a ton. I'm not exactly sure how we will use them in our homeschool, but for the price and for what they are, I couldn't pass them up. I'm thinking we may just read, I don't know, maybe read one a day or something like that. I don't know. But the first one is Women Who Dared, 52 Stories of Fearless Daredevils, Adventurers, and Rebels. So we've just got all kinds of women in here just doing all kinds of cool, fun, amazing things. So we have that one. And then we also have the Courageous World Changers. This is 50 True Stories of Daring Women of God. So similar. We may even see a little bit of overlap between the two books, so that will be kind of fun to keep an eye out for that, but those two we are adding to our library. We also will add Whose Tracks Are These? A clue book of familiar forest animals. This will be a really fun one to just kind of read and go through and see if we can figure out what tracks belong to what animals. And then I grabbed another veterinarian book because why not? For just a couple of dollars, these are really great to have. This one is a little bit more in-depth, does have a little bit more reading and pictures and things. So this will be a good one to add. And then these last two are actually for that careers unit as well. This is 100 Things to Be When You Grow Up. Now this is by Nat Geo Kids. There is some really cool stuff in here that like I never would have thought of. And it doesn't give you a ton of information, right? But it just gives you kind of a cool little glimpse and a little information. And then anything that kind of sparks their interest, of course, they can go and do a little bit more work. And then this one doesn't have the cover, but this is Iggy Peck Architect. And this one, again, will go with the careers and trades. Just a fun little picture book for that. Next up, we are going crazy with Read-Alouds this year. I'm not going to get into it. We will talk about it. I mentioned it in our Q1 update. We need to add some more Read-Alouds to our library because that's where we're at. And as I started going through books to read aloud, I realized we haven't read like some of the classics, like the must-read books. We haven't even done those. So I grabbed a few of them because of Winn-Dixie. We have not read this book. And so I am excited to have it on our shelves. This for sure will be done as a read aloud. So looking forward to that. Y'all, I am a little afraid, a little sad to report that we have never actually read Winnie the Pooh. So I have it. It is now going to be on our bookshelves, and I really am so looking forward to doing this. I also did grab the House on Pooh corner. Of course, my daughter knows who Winnie the Pooh is. We have read like some fun little picture books and things like that, but we've never actually sat down and read the book of Winnie the Pooh. So I am very much looking forward to these, like as soon as possible. Next up is The Lemonade War. Now, this is actually the 3-book series all together in one. So this is The Lemonade War, The Lemonade Crime, and The Bell Bandit. I am not sure that we will read them in order that way. It may just be that we read The Lemonade War and then maybe we go to something else and come back. But the price of this book was just as much as the standalone paperback by itself. So why not just go ahead and get all 3 in case we do decide we actually do want to finish out the other 2. So I grabbed that. Good old Mary Poppins. We've seen the movie, of course, but we need to have the book and we need to read it because that, I think, is just such a classic. And then we've got Stuart Little. Same thing. Y'all, we've watched the movies, never read the book. We've got to read the book. And then we can treat ourselves with watching the movie again, now with a new perspective. So very, very excited about that. It's going to be so fun. And then the last one that I grabbed is The Courage of Sarah Noble. I've never read this. I see it everywhere all of the time. I don't know anything about it other than it is like crazy short. Like we can read this like just in a day or two. So I am interested to read it and see what it's about. And then the last few things, if you guys watched my video a little while ago about my first impressions of a new curriculum that we are going to be trying, these books are related to that curriculum. I will have it linked in the description for you if you didn't check that out. But I have The Tarantula in my purse and 172 Other Wild Pets. I had never heard of this book until that curriculum. And I am looking forward to reading this because based off of what I hear about it, it's supposed to be just like really fun, funny adventures with all of these crazy pets. And that 100% sounds right up my daughter's alley. And then of course, these last books, they all go together. I think it will be pretty easy to tell what they are for and how we plan on using them. But I think there are some really, really great titles in here. But these were all listed in that book list from the curriculum that I mentioned. Of course, like I said, it'll be down in the description if you want to check it out. But the first book is 30,000 Stitches by Amanda Davis. This is a story of the 9/11 flag. And so, yeah, very much looking forward to reading this one with my daughter. I, of course, remember 9/11, and it really is kind of wild to me that I have reached the point of teaching about 9/11 in history to my child. That is really quite crazy. But anyway, so we have that book. And then the next one is America, a Patriotic Primer by Lynn Cheney. So this is just going through the alphabet with like different words, you know, that correspond and things like that. There's actually a lot of information on here, so this one might be pretty fun to go through. Next up is the Star Spangled Banner. This is just the lyrics of the Star Spangled Banner through the whole book that you're reading, but also, you know, with these beautiful illustrations that go with it. So that's that one. Then we have By Dawn's Early Light. This is the story of the Star Spangled Banner. So just a little bit more kind of history and information on it there. Then I have for Spacious Skies, Catherine Lee Bates and the Inspiration for America the Beautiful. And the pictures on all of these really are just very beautiful. So looking forward to that. And then the last one is Flags Over America. And this one is a Star Spangled story as well. So interested to see kind of the differences between all of the stories and just kind of what we are able to do with that in our homeschool. So that is my massive thrift books haul. I hope there is something in here that you guys can find a little inspiration from, maybe gives you a few ideas for some summer read-alouds or things like that. But that is it for today's video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon.